Welcome back to the Extra Finnings podcast presented by Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. As always, I'm your host, Matt Wurzberger, joined by Bo Cowan and the head coach of the Old Dominion baseball team, Chris Finwood. We have two special guests this week as well, shortstops Tommy Bell and Kyle Edwards. It's a full slate today, guys. How are we doing?
Pretty good.
Great.
Good.
Everybody's doing good after a nice weekend sweep, and it's 75 and sunny today. So we'll take that on March the 7th for sure.
It's 50 and gloomy in Texas. How often is that the case? It's
how about that?
Nicer in Norfolk than Texas.
How about that? And you guys are down there to get ready for the tournament, right?
That's correct. Women's basketball.
When's that start for the women?
Both the men and the women play on Wednesday.
And the women are what seed?
The 3 seed in the East.
3 seed, and they play who?
We don't know yet. It'll be either UTEP or UTSA.
Okay, and the men are a 5 seed, I think?
Correct, yes.
Good.
Correct.
Good luck to both of them as they get into the tournament for sure.
Absolutely. We have a full slate ahead. We've got 4 games to recap, 5 to preview. But first, just a reminder, Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group is the presenting sponsor of Extra Finnings. Atlantic Bay believes lending peace of mind goes beyond mortgages. I want to throw it over to our special guests first, Tommy and Kyle, a really special connection, one a 5th-year senior shortstop, the other true freshman, kind of his understudy. Tommy, Kyle, can you just talk a little bit about the relationship that's built between the two of you this season?
Yeah, so having Kyle in this year was, I guess I took it as a bit of a challenge for myself. The previous 3 years or so, I never really had anyone else out there at shortstop with me. Of course, Dangler is out there some, but Kyle was the first guy that was really always out there taking ground balls with me in practice and stuff. So, I wanted to teach him everything that I learned from Finney and really just show him the ropes and show him the right way to do things. And we still continue to do that every day. And he's getting better and he's making me better as well. So that's where we're at too.
I'd probably say that it's definitely been a challenge for me too, because it's like the first time ever that I've been like playing behind somebody, and it's honestly a challenge, but it's also fun at the same time because I look at it as playing behind the best shortstop in the country. I mean, he teaches me so much, and he's been the best player coach I've ever probably had, and it's been fun and exciting, and I'm ready to just keep working with him.
Of course. And Tommy, you've had a little chance to rest a minor injury you picked up in the Binghamton series. If not for Kyle, you may have still been out at shortstop. How important is it to know that you do have someone behind you and you can take the rest and get your body right when needed?
I played in so many consecutive games. It feels like I feel like I've never missed one. So just having him behind me it's great experience, both for him because he's got a lot of games to play too here. And, I don't really think about injuries. They just kind of come and happen. But this one will be gone soon, and then we'll just have more to work on. I mean, it's not really something I'm worried about, but it's great that Kyle got some experience in this week, and he will throughout the season as well.
Yeah, and Kyle, can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts and feelings on cracking in the starting lineup, getting some experience so early on like that?
I would say that it was definitely nerve-wracking, like running out to the field the first time. Now I was like looking, I was like, damn, this is really where I'm gonna be at soon. And it's definitely, I'd say I have more nerves going up to the plate because defensively, I feel like I have my own type of confidence where I can feel like I'm unstoppable out there. But up to the plate, that's the most nerve-wracking, and got the best of me a little bit, but it's just a work in progress.
And coach, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay, Matt. I was just going to chime in a little bit. We spent a lot of time in our program talking about serving each other and having a servant mindset. and I can't think of a better example of somebody that does that every day than Tommy Bell. And, he's got amazing parents. He's been brought up the right way. It's certainly nothing we've done, but he came here ready made like that. He's got strong faith as a foundation. But he spends, and he did it last year with Carter and Kenny when they were freshmen playing on each side of them. I mean, he spent a lot of time with those kids, a lot of times in batting practice. He'd get his ground balls, and then instead of getting more, he'd go over and work with them at their position, things they were doing. And they've become much better players because of him. And when we talk about leaving the jersey, in a better place than you got it, because we're all just renting it for a little while, and then we got to pass it on to somebody else. And you'd like to think that you leave it in a better place than when you got it. And certainly that 11 jersey will be left in a much better place than it was when he got it. And so, I'm proud of both of these guys. One, they're fantastic young men, and they both have such a growth mindset. Tommy's come so far as a ball player, and he was pretty good when he got here defensively. We didn't have to fix many things, but he's really worked hard on the offense. And it reminds me a lot of Kyle and the journey he's going through offensively. But when kids are good athletes and they're smart and they're willing to learn and make adjustments, they usually figure that out sooner or later as well. And so, watching these guys look, they both they're very different personality wise. Tommy's steady Eddie, and he's going to always be kind of the same guy. And Kyle's got that big smile and that big personality, and he likes to have fun and play. And we're trying to just help him understand that you don't value yourself as a ball player by how many hits you get, especially when you're playing shortstop. There's so many other ways you can help the team win, and he did that. 3 of our 4 wins this week. A lot of times teams lose their starting shortstop and certainly don't go 4-0 in their next 4 games against 4 games against pretty good teams. And that's really more a reflection of the rest of the guys on the team and being prepared. Kyle played 3 really good games at short. Chris Dingler played yesterday, played a really good game at short. And so, does that mean we don't need Tommy Bell? Hell no. We can't be the team we need to be without him in there. We know that. But it's also a fantastic opportunity. Like I told Kyle, you're going to get to play. You just got to be ready when you get in there. And he is, and he has been. It's a great learning opportunity. It's going to make him so much better player as he grows up. And then he's going to have to pass this on just like Tommy is to somebody. Some kid that's in high school right now. We probably don't even know who he is. And Kyle's going to be right out there mentoring him and telling him things that Tommy Guns taught him. And that's the beauty of the lineage and the, passing things down through your program.
Exactly. Kyle, you're 10 games into your collegiate career to hear coach speak so highly of you and, essentially say you're the heir apparent at shortstop. But how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel pretty good. It shocks me too, because I've played 3 games, and I feel like I haven't really shown anything crazy, and I think it's crazy how much he believes in me for the future.
Bo, you get to see both of these guys a lot in action and in practice. What are just some of your thoughts on the connection between these two?
It's amazing. Like Finney said, like Tommy's helping him, and then it's going to be Kyle's turn to show somebody the ropes in 2 or 3 years. So that's just how it's going to have to be, And they're both defensively, they're both really, really good, and he's got some work. They both got some work to do, but we're going to be really good up the middle for the next 3-4 years. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think people need to see this side of our players. I think your casual fan looks at players, the coaches, like we're all robots, and we're not. Like, we're people. Like, we laugh, we cry, we hurt, we bleed, we we hug each other and we get sad and angry and happy and all of the above. So, I think it was maybe Friday or Saturday after the game, I was having dinner with Krisha, and she's the most special person in my life, and she loves Tommy. She's worked a lot with him on some of his injuries as a physical therapist, and she said, you should let people hear about this kid and how much he helps your team, and because outside of the people that know him, they don't know that. And then I thought, what a great perspective to have Kyle come in as part of that, because he's the direct beneficiary of it. But also, like Tommy said, it helps, when you're teaching something, one of the laws of learning is demonstrating. And when you're teaching something, John Wooden always used to say it helps you become better at it. And so when you're teaching it, you're reviewing it, you're reinforcing it, you're also relearning it. And I think I see a lot of that going on out there between those two. And they're both able to get their egos out of the way, and just be in a growth mindset and learn. And that's what this is all about, like just understanding things come up, we got to learn. And just for example, the other day, and this happens with young players, they had a runner on first, kid hit a line drive, and Kyle tried to be fast and catch it to double the guy off, and ended up missing the ball. And he'll never do that again, because it's a hard lesson to learn. It led to an inning with some runs where you just got to slow it down, take the out, and then be quick. And we talk about catching the ball and then being quick. When you try to be quick without the ball, things always go sideways. And so sometimes those the hardest lessons. Pain instructs, and so they have to be hard. And I had to get in his butt a little bit about that, but he always handles that great too. He knows I love him, and I think the next time that happens, he'll be ready for
And not to mention, Tommy's got the best mustache I've ever seen in a ball as a ball player. At a ball player have he's had it since his freshman year, right, Tommy? Or
Yeah,
his whole life.
Thanks, though.
yeah,
it's just in my genes. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure.
You got to get the mustache wax and curl it up like Raleigh.
I know you tell me that every single time you see me.
I know you have to get it. You have to do it. It would look cool. It would look cool, especially for Mustache March. It would look cool. But
we are in Mustache March, aren't we? Hey, I got one other thing, and before we got to let these guys know, Kyle's got an interesting nickname amongst our team. And maybe it'd be good for him to explain, what that is and how it came about. Nicknames, the etymology of nicknames, it always can be fascinating. I still remember when Guns got his. I think it was Fall World Series, right? Your freshman year, was that right?
Yeah, it was our strength trainer, Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis. That's right, Tommy Guns. But Kyle, you want to elaborate a little bit more on that? Or maybe not.
There's a lot of nicknames. What's the one that you're
the
thinking?
guys call you Eddie? So.
Oh, it's pretty straightforward. My last name's Edwards, so they just look at me as Ed and then go on like Eddie. So it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing like very deep behind it.
Gotcha. All right, but that's the one that I think it sounds cool when they say it. And I just wanted to make sure that wasn't because they thought you looked like Cousin Eddie from the Monsters or something like that. All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much for the time. And we got weights today and get back ready for another week of baseball. Princeton coming up. All right.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
See ya.
thank you both.
Thank you, Finney. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thanks for having us.
So the song, I did a little research while we were on there. It is Ring My Bell by Anita Ward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a one-hit wonder, or does she do more songs we know?
That's a good question. I am not sure. I'm not sure on that, but we'll figure that out. But Anita Ward, Ring My Bell, and that's a good. I'm almost positive that's a 70s Motown song.
I think it has to be. And there's the kind of the double meaning, Tommy being the career hit by pitch leader at
the other part,
ODU. Yeah.
He's
ringing the bell
numerous times, 43 to be exact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just reviewing, I guess, the week.
Yeah. You kind of showed you can win in all manner of games, some close ones, some low scoring ones, high scoring blowout.
Yeah, we won 3-1, 1-0, 8-7, and then a blowout yesterday, 23-7. But play your first road game at a really tough place to play, VCU. Not a lot of hitting going on. We really pitched well and come out of there, get one big hit from Andy, two out, 2 RBI double, triple, and come out of there with a hard fought win. And then, man, Friday, just old school pitchers duel, and we win 1-0. Incredible, actually. We got one big hit, 2 outs, back-to-back doubles by Kootenai and Brock, and the Tommy Gertner gave us his best start of the season to this point. Guys in the pen did a great job, and Jason Hartline finished us up with 3 shutout innings, and it took an interesting, exciting play at the end of the game to win it. Kenny LeVar going in the 6 hole and spinning and throwing the ball in the dirt, and Kootenai scooping it out, and the umpire doing a rain dance over there before he called the guy out to end the game. That guy was an interesting cat. And then, yesterday we get up big, and they come back and end up tying it up on a steal of home in the, top of the 8th. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Brock singles. We pinch run Dom for him. We bunt him up, and Josh Trujillo singles him in, to get the lead. And we bring in Noah. Noah was in the game, and he strikes out the side in the 9th. So he struck out 4 in a row there to end that game. He looked really good. Then yesterday's a day where, I told the guys, it could very easily be a 15-10 game with the way the wind was blowing. And I was really, really proud of our pitching. It wasn't pretty cosmetically. And Sam didn't have his best stuff. He's kind of, trying to work his way through some things. But I thought the guys in the middle of the game came in and pieced it together. We just had more solid guys to bring out of the bullpen than they did. And to hold anybody to 7 runs on yesterday is almost like throwing a shutout because, you saw we got 23. The ball was just flying, and I thought we played really good defense on top of all of that. Kenny LeVar, I don't know I've ever seen a weekend where a guy made more plays at third base than he did. Fantastic plays.
Yeah, he made some really good plays, and it was like I thought I was gonna go to Kansas out with all the wind. Like I thought I was gonna be wrapped up and going to Kansas with the wind and riding the wind.
And he pulled a Kyle Battle there in the bottom of the first pitch.
Yeah,
off he hit over the scoreboard.
Yeah, first pitch.
First pitch. And,
yeah.
So we move. We're still trying to figure our lineup out, which most teams are this time of the year. Losing Kyle, obviously that leadoff spot. We moved Kenny into the leadoff spot on Saturday, and I think he had 2 or 3 hits and got on base a bunch. And then yesterday, he gets 4 hits and a double short of the cycle. Mm-hmm. So far so good in that. I think he's fine. Like he's got a good eye, and so we're gonna hopefully stay with that for a little while and see how it works.
Yeah, and most importantly, some of your important bats that really hadn't clicked yet going into last week finally did. Brock Gagliardi 8-4, Josh Trujillo hit 500 as well. Dangler batting 400 probably had one of his best games at the plate ever on Sunday. So you're starting to see some of the bats that had a hard time getting started clicking, and you have to be encouraged by that, correct?
Yeah, without a doubt. Chris has been off to a tough start, and hadn't played every day. That doesn't help that sometimes. Brock, same thing. Matt Kootenai, same thing. Some of those guys just weren't hitting yet, but they've been good hitters, and you figure that's going to turn around sooner or later as long as they keep working. And yesterday it was nice to see some guys get rewarded and hit the ball in the park. Jared Hancock had a good day with some big 2-strike hits for us as well. And the guys at the bottom of the lineup really did a real good job of turning it over to get back to the top. And Carter's fine, but Carter really hasn't heated up yet. So that's encouraging to see him be able to do that. So good. We'll take anytime you go 4-0 in a week, you'll take it. And you win 9 of your first 10, you'll certainly take that. especially, not having felt like we've played our best, but we have been pitching well and playing good defense, and it's just a matter of the bats coming around. And yesterday they did.
Mhm. Just a few more things I want to touch on from the week behind us. Blake Morgan making his first collegiate start. He has the bases loaded with none out in the bottom of the first and somehow gets out of it without allowing a run, goes on to throw 3 shutout innings, striking out 6. What did Blake show you there in that bottom of the first at VCU?
Yeah, Blake's got that thing, people talk about the it factor. He certainly has it. Like, he's a very confident young man. And none of it is false. It's all in the right spots in his brain. And, he was just missing a little bit. And I walked out there and said, "Hey man, I haven't seen you walk 2 guys in an inning since you've been here. Are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, well, look, settle down. It's the first inning. If you give up a run or 2 here, no big deal. We got plenty of time to come back." And, lo and behold, he gets strikeout pop up, and he's out of the inning, and then 2 more shutout. It cost him an inning because he had to throw so many pitches in that first inning. So we weren't going to run him out there another one. But Jacob Gomez came in and pitched great in that game. So I thought it was a real good first start. He's going to start tomorrow against Princeton here. And on that note, we're not going to play the Wednesday game that was scheduled. The weather just looks awful, and they need to be able to make some travel plans if we're not going to play. So we'll go ahead and cancel that one, and we'll probably make that game up, with somebody else down the road this season.
All right, you heard it here first.
Yeah. We'll play one game tomorrow at 3:00, and we won't play Wednesday. Wednesday looks really bad.
And I was really happy for Blake that he struggled there, but he was able to, get out of that without any damage. And then, I've never seen very many freshmen do that. Like, once they get in trouble, they just let it eat them up. But he said, "Screw it. Let's just see what you can do and get out of it." And I told him I was proud of him, because most people in that position would have freaked out and let them give up 5 runs or whatever,
Yeah.
But he's,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that happened to us here last year against VCU. We started a true freshman, and he gave up 5 in the first, and it's hard to come back from that sometimes. So yeah, Blake's going to be a really, really important part of our pitching staff here for the next few years. So we're excited about his future and his potential.
And then lastly, one more thing, and we'll move on to the upcoming week. Hartline, Noah Dean combined 4 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 2 save opportunities. They're everything advertised and more this year.
Yeah, we feel confident when those guys are in the game that, we got a good shot, and they're completely different guys. And, last year there were a lot of games we had to throw them both to win. And so far this year, we've been able to kind of, ding and dong with them and throw one guy this game, one guy the other game. And so that's been helpful. And so there may come a time when you got to use them both to win on Friday. That's kind of the way it is, but you got to win the game you're playing. But so far, not yet. And the main reason for that is Hartline has been able to stretch out where he can throw 3 innings and be effective. And so I think Noah's going to get to that point where he can do that. He threw an inning in 2/3 on Saturday and was very, his last pitch was 97, I think, 96, 97. So he was fine. And so we're kind of moving in that direction.
Yeah, exactly. It would be such an asset to shorten a game that significantly if both Hartline and Dean could work 2-3 innings consistently.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. We're still work in progress, starting pitching wise. Certainly the guys they're working awful hard. We just got to keep pedaling the bike and keep going. Our middle relief has really been good. Brett Smith, Vincent Bechera, Brad Dobzhansky, Jacob Gomez. They've all thrown the ball well. John Keene's thrown the ball well in his 2 outings. So we're going to get him some more opportunities. Pete Nielsen's thrown the ball well. We've had some good outings out of that pen. And, Joey Rodriguez and Trey Fisher have really accepted their role. And I think next week we'll have some pitchers on here. And I'd like to talk about that because those guys have been our kind of get out of a jam guy early to mid parts of games. And when they do their job like that, they give us a chance to win. It always gets lost in the rest of the game. But it's just like Trey came in and, saved a run yesterday. Joey came in, saved a run yesterday. Like that all adds up. It all adds up. It's very uneventful to some people, but at the time that it happens, it's hugely important in the game.
Yeah, we talk about inherited runners, and it's not something we track at the college level, but it's certainly something you track at the professional level.
Yeah, and they don't get any of the glory because it happens in a part of the game, that people forget about always. But I promise you, the coaches and the players on the team don't forget about it.
Right. It's that buy-in, it's that servant mentality we talked about earlier in the program with Tommy and Kyle.
Yeah, everybody pulling their piece of the rope. You got a tendency to be able to move mountains, and we've still, culture and environment is something you have to fight for daily, and it's something that we're constantly working towards. And on Mondays, it's usually, tell it like it is Monday and mental Mondays, and there's a lot of conversations that are going on. Some kids that didn't play that think they should be playing. Some guys that we need to fix some things mechanically. Mondays are off days, but you're never really off. and by the way, we're trying to catch up on some personal things that we don't ever have time to do during the week too.
Exactly. All right, we already hit on the Princeton, what's now one game instead of two. On the back end of the week, we have 3 against Stony Brook, a perennial favorite out of the America East Conference. Yet again, it's another ratcheting up of quality on over the weekend, correct?
Yeah, it is, and they're a program that's used to winning their league. They're used to playing in the NCAA tournament. We hired Coach Marin from there, so it's a big weekend for him with his former boss, and I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, they'll be good. You can make an argument to say they'll be the best team we've played so far this year, and that's a good thing. Like I said, we want to play good people and teams that are used to winning. Bryant certainly fell in that category. They'll have a chance to win their league without a doubt. So those wins will look good at the end of the year. Binghamton, 2 out of 3 will also look good. And then, obviously, when we get to Stony Brook, having a chance to win that series will look good. So we're trying to build and get ready for conference play.
Yeah, we're essentially a week and a half away from the start of conference play, if you can believe it, starting out at Middle Tennessee weekend after next. Are you ready for it? I guess is the question.
Who knows? I don't know if you're ever ready for it. I mean, we ended up having a pretty good year last year. And I think we got beat like 17-10 in our opening conference game by FIU here. We bounced back and won the next 3, but they're all, that's just another different part of the journey of the season. So you try to take care of business in the non-conference segment. And then you get ready, trying to get you ready for conference play, as ready as you think you can be. And then you're moving into that. So I think we are learning as we go along. We're getting better. Our approaches are getting better at the plate. We cut down on our strikeouts over the weekend. That was good to see. We're continuing to play good defense. So we're moving forward.
Exactly. And just again, to take a snapshot of the week ahead, it's Tuesday, March 8th versus Princeton, 3:00 at the Bud, and then 3 against Stony Brook, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That familiar 3-2-1 start time. And we'll recap all 4 of those games on the next episode of the Extra Finnings podcast. We'll look ahead to a big midweek game against East Carolina, and then the start of conference play at Middle Tennessee the weekend after. Coach, Bo, do we have anything else to add, or is it time to get out of here?
Well, you weren't freezing this weekend, so you were happy, right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't freezing. Saturday, Sunday, I was good. Friday was a little bit wonky, but I was able to tough it out. But I'm good, and I'm just, it's amazing. I think we're definitely heading towards the right direction and keeping moving forward. Like you said, like keep pat on the bike. I think we'll be where we need to be when conference opens up. So
awesome.
Well,
thank you guys. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to Brian Holland, Atlantic Bay Mortgage, for sponsoring us as always. We really appreciate it. And please send in thoughts on songs and topics of things you'd like to hear about Monarch baseball.
Of course, for head coach of the Old Dominion baseball team, Chris Finwood, Bo Cowan, I'm Matt Worsberger. Thanks for tuning in. We'll check in next week.